Hi everyone, you are welcome to my channel. Today is the question: do you go to work even when you are sick? Are you so committed to your work that you show up even when you are sick? Well, if you are the type, I have something for you. We have a small distribution company in Italy. In the morning, we distribute graphic. Now, graphic distribution in Italy is different from that of Germany, Switzerland, and probably other countries. You know, Germany, they distribute it all, even Switzerland, one by one in front of doors. But in Italy, you load it. If it is 3, 4, 5 towns, you load it in furgon and then you distribute them in bulk to stationers, and they sell them one by one. So it depends. You may maybe have 25 stops, 27, 30 stops, maybe 3, 4, 5. It depends how many towns, depend on how many stationers are there in that town. Now, for some time, my son had to replace one of our workers who was on holidays. One day, he came home from work totally discouraged. Now, what has happened? Then he mentioned the name of a man. I don't want to mention his name. An Italian man. He said he died at work today. What? He said yes. What happened? He said, you know, you load the graphic, you load them in the furgon, then you begin to arrange it. Stop number one. He has number of this graphic, number of that. You arrange them so that when you stop, then you begin to remove them for the person. So after loading, we do the packing. We were doing the packing. I'm in my car, and the man was also in his car, and he was bent, so he was picking graphic one, he was picking them, arranging them. And he says, for some time I noticed that he was still, how he bent like he was picking something from the ground to put, and he was not. What's going on? I look at him. I said, no, it cannot be. So I run to his car, in front of the car, and then he was like partially dead, even though he was breathing. So he said, I screamed and called them. He fell down. When I touched him, he fell down. So I called the people, please help. The man is dying, help. I ran to them, come. So he said, I came and I started giving him a push so that maybe I can save him, because no one was coming. I did my possible best, screaming at the top of my voice. Nobody showed up. And eventually, the guy was not breathing again. He was not a man. So he said, I ran then to the factory inside there and tell them, this is what you want. I know, even though I'm not a medical doctor, the guy is gone. Now, previously, he told me, my son told me that the man had been complaining that he's finding it difficult to breathe. He said, for 4 days now, I really find I feel suffocated when I breathe. I find it difficult to breathe. Now, when the man died, the boss came out with some of the workers, and then they called police. Police also came and called ambulance. Now, when the ambulance came, the first thing the boss did was, Ale, Kandiajiro, and change the direction of the distribution. Means his direction, his client, distribute it among yourself, and then go and then distribute them. Vai te elaborar. Go and work. Then everybody went and worked, whilst the ambulance and everything, they were taking care of the man. He was working. The people are there. Nobody wanted to help. And my son was so discouraged. He said, I thought I work with human beings. What has happened today? Now, where am I driving at? There is a risk of going to work sick. Because the symptoms of illness can worsen due to excessive strain. Now, pressing on can cause you to become even more sick and weakens your immune system. A woman I know told her husband, today I'm not feeling well. She was sick and had been going to work. And one day she wake up and said, no, I'm not feeling well today. I can't work. I'm not going to work. Now, since they live in a place where it is difficult for women to find a job, the man advised her to just try and go, which she did. Whilst working, she collapsed. In fact, she was on coma for weeks and eventually died. Very, very pretty woman. Anybody who knows that woman knows for her beauty. Very beautiful. Now, the question is, would that have happened had she not gone to work that day? Only God knows. I can't tell. As a matter of fact, you don't have to pretend to be sick. Now, we are human. So long as we live in this house called body, something can hinder you from showing up. If for any reason you cannot make it, ask for permission. Do not pretend to be sick. But if you are the type who goes to work sick, at some point you will have to consider what the risk might be for doing so. Your health is very, very, and extra very important. Very important. Please, do not exchange it with someone's job at all. Let me tell you another story that happened the same Italy. I was working with a certain woman in front of a conveyor. Those of you who have been in Italy, you know what we call stucare. I was working with that woman, and then the woman told me that he told me of her colleague who died in her former workplace whilst working. And I said, oh, I heard of this when I was in Napoli. Then the woman said, I was standing in front of a conveyor like I am with you today. I was working with her. And he said, the woman fell down whilst we were working. And he said, to my surprise, her fingers began to look unusually crooked. They were coiling. So I screamed and I called for help. They came and picked her up, sent her to the hospital, and was pronounced dead upon arrival. Now, the day of interment was a Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. And the woman told me that we normally work on Saturday mornings from 6 to 12. So all the black women there, the Ghanaian, there were many black women there, they asked the boss to excuse them that Saturday for they want to bid their colleague farewell. The man angrily told them that they can only do so after work. Here's the place, the work finished at 12 noon, at noon. And then the interment was between 9 and 11. Now, the woman died in the workplace. Not only is the boss refraining from attending the funeral, He is also forbidding those Ghanaian women who wanted to bid their sister farewell. Why? His work first. First. He doesn't care about her. So my question is, why do you kill yourself for work which was there before you came and will continue to be there after your death? Nobody cares about you. No. Nobody cares. If you die today, Italians said that la vita continua. Life goes on. So why do you kill yourself for a work that was there before you came and it will continue after your death? My dear, you live only once. So why joke with your life? Advise yourself. God bless you and thanks for watching.